two most publicized conversations around this are bathrooms and then sports. The reason why they're saying this is what they're saying is that, like, if we do muddy this definition, if we do rely purely on just like the phenotypical ways that they express themselves, we're going to create an environment that is unfair or unsafe. So it's more so like the externalities of this definition that I think that people have a problem with. It's not necessarily actually just calling them what they are. It's more like if the definition of female included transgender women and that was the end of the conversation, I don't think anybody would really care in context of sports or bathrooms. But the assumption is that men are biologically significantly better than women at sports. So when we loosen this, they get to compete. Same with the bathrooms, it's more unsafe, something like that.
So my point about the sports is that whenever you frame it that way, where it's you have a man versus a woman, yes, totally agree. Men versus women, typically a man will outperform, especially when it comes to certain sports like football or maybe even a weightlifting competition. However, when you frame it as a trans woman versus a cisgender woman, it changes the conversation entirely. There's not a great depth of research on this topic because, honestly, transgender research is not very well studied. We're kind of like on the cusp of that, and now it's kind of like not even possible at all, the current administration's attack on science. But I would say that what we do have in our literature, in the academic literature, is it shows that trans women do not perform to the levels that you would expect a cisgender man to perform, and they fall more so within the lines of cisgender women. Trans women perform, on average, more closely to cisgender women. And then from there, if you want to go into bathrooms, trans people and LGBTQ people in general are more likely to be victims of sexual violence, harassment, harm in almost every standard of the way. So I don't think that allowing those people to be where they feel safest is necessarily like the hill to die on. And also from like a logistic standpoint, how do you police that? Because then it turns into like lifting up skirt laws, which is something that has happened in our own Congress.
The concern is that people are going to get assaulted or something even more horrible, like they're going to get raped or something. I don't know if the gender sign has ever stopped people from doing this. Like, I don't know anybody whose like intention was to do this and they're like, dang it, this is women's bathroom, I can't go in, I don't know. But I guess maybe you would say something that like increased exposure increases temptation, something like that. Maybe you could say something like that, which, look, this isn't a hill I would die on either side, I don't think. Like, whether I was left-leaning or right-leaning, I don't think this would be the hill that I would die on. I think